Guardians of the Galaxy, screw it, let's just watch the trailer.
Hey, that's mine. You son of a... Hey, take those headphones off right now!
Guardians of the Galaxy is directed by James Gunn and stars Chris Pratt, Dave Bautista, Bradley Cooper, Vin Diesel, and Zoe Saldana. What's going on, guys? It's IAmVeryMoist, and like you saw in the cold open, usually how I briefly describe the movie in which I'm reviewing, I'm not doing it with this movie, and I'll tell you why. Right off the bat, let me just say, I went into Guardians of the Galaxy knowing almost jack squat. I saw the first trailer that they premiered, I think back in February. Jimmy Kimmel premiered it on his show, and that's all I saw. That is literally all I saw. I hid from every TV spot, every featurette, every trailer. I avoided this movie like the Black Plague because the trailer sold me. The first trailer sold me, and that's how I like to view movies now. And I think that had a lot to do with my enjoyment with this movie. Not to say that people who have been watching trailers for the movie won't enjoy it. I'm just saying I think I may have enjoyed it more than the average moviegoer who has seen maybe every single trailer. Now, with that being said, let me just say, right off the bat, Guardians of the Galaxy is Marvel's best movie. It's their best. It's the best action. It's the best humor. It's the best emotional film. It's the most heartfelt. It's got the best direction. It's the best editing, the best music. Guardians of the Galaxy is not only Marvel's best film, it's 2014's best movie. And it's one of my favorite movies of all time now. By a long shot. This movie, now I don't say this a lot, this movie is perfect. Now, before I get critical and start to really dissect this film as opposed to just gushing over it, let me just set up this review by saying that I did go see this with a bunch of my friends, and myself, like I told you, I've only seen the first trailer. And then a buddy of mine who I took to see the movie knew nothing. He just knew that there was a tree and a raccoon, and that's it. He knew nothing. And he was absolutely blown away. He could not stop talking about it. He absolutely loves it. All of us, we all loved it. Like, we're still talking about it right now. Many of us have already seen it like 3 times already. We all bought toys and stuff and like of the characters and posters and t-shirts. I made this I Am Groot shirt because I just loved it. And when the movie was over, in my mind I was like, already this is just a perfect movie. I absolutely love it. So I turned to all my friends. I'm like, did any of you find any problem with this movie whatsoever? Let it all out. They're like, no. They all were like searching for something to complain about. Nothing. There was almost nothing to complain about. Now, you know, if you do find something that there's a problem with it, please let me know. I'd love to hear other people's opinions on the movie. That's why we review things. Warning ahead of time before we get too much more into this review, let me just say, opinions are different. That's why they're opinions. So if you hate what I have to say about this movie, that's fine. It's your opinion, and that's the beauty of opinions in America. Let us keep our opinions. Yeah, the movie's perfect. Now let's dissect the film a bit more. Let's talk about the direction. The cool thing about this movie that immediately, as soon as the movie began, and definitely after it ended, this was a perfect example of a big company like Marvel giving a director a property and saying, have a good time, make it your way. And they did. You know, they let James Gunn, the director, do what he wanted. And you totally see that. You totally feel that the director got what he wanted and made the movie that he wanted to see. Not something that Marvel's like, well, you gotta do this and you gotta do that, which now we're starting to see that with Ant-Man, now that Ant-Man Edgar Wright left because his passion project, Ant-Man, they ripped him out of it and said, hey, no, you gotta do it the Marvel way. He was like, no, let me just do this, and we can incorporate it later. And they're like, nope, you can't. So, unfortunately, Ant-Man's going to feel forced, as opposed to this movie, where this felt completely organic, very fresh and original, and just, it felt like the director, and not only the director, but the cast as well, they all just individually poured themselves into this, and it at no point felt forced. And let me just also say that this is definitely Marvel's most edgy film. And in the sense that the humor is very edgy, and the language. The movie is, it's very edgy in its language. There's a lot of swearing in it. Not like I had a problem with it, but I'm just saying I noticed it as opposed to other Marvel movies. It's definitely edgier, and it works, though. It'd be different if Iron Man was saying, like, oh, look at this bastard, like, what the hell, that prick? He's a dick, or whatever. It's like, I mean, maybe Iron Man, but, like, Captain America, or people saying that. It makes sense in these characters, and that has a lot to do with the writing and the acting. But let's talk about the acting, because the acting is amazing. The acting from Chris Pratt, you know, who could have played Star-Lord better than Chris Pratt, you know? He completely engulfs himself in this character, and it didn't really, I mean, it felt like Chris Pratt playing this character, you know? Like, at points he became Star-Lord, but at points it just seemed like Chris Pratt was just running around in this universe playing this character, like playing dress up. Zoe Saldana did a great job as Gamora. You know, she kind of does this stuff a lot. She was in Avatar and stuff, and I didn't see Zoe Saldana. I saw Gamora. She lost herself in this character, and I think that was absolutely wonderful. Bradley Cooper as Rocket Raccoon, almost unrecognizable, which is fantastic, because if you notice Bradley Cooper's voice in it, you would be thinking about Bradley Cooper and not Rocket Raccoon. He does a great job at masking his voice, and Rocket Raccoon is what I thought would be the scene stealer, while he is absolutely fantastic, and you sympathize with him at many moments in the movie, and he's got you laughing every other minute. Another character that I'd like to mention that definitely stole the show, that I did not expect him to do this. Dave Bautista as Drax. I did not know how I would feel about Drax. He was a no-name actor. He's actually a wrestler. And he stole the show. Every line. And it was unintentional, really. Like, the lines, the way he delivered them, it didn't seem like a joke to him. And that's a lot with the character that he created with Drax. And it made the joke so much more funny, because if he said the line in hopes to get someone to laugh, you would know that. But no, it was so unintentional and so honest, the words and the jokes that he would say. And he had me laughing my ass off the entire film. And he did a great job as Drax. Now let's move on to Groot. Groot, yes. Played by Vin Diesel. Groot was wonderful. I loved Groot. When he was fighting, he was incredible. When he was just walking around saying, "I'm Groot," it was fantastic. Vin Diesel... Why was it Vin Diesel? I mean, it could have been anyone else, like Doug Jones or someone, but it was Vin Diesel. It was crazy. And Groot's adorable. He's so cute. I love him. He's the most sympathetic character out of all of them. And they kind of play him as dumb, but as the movie goes on, you find out that there's a little bit more going on under the surface with Groot. And I loved Groot, and he's probably one of my favorite. I actually have a bobblehead, little cute little bobblehead right over there of Groot and Star-Lord. Haha, yeah. Groot, the cast is wonderful. The chemistry is unbelievable. There's a scene in which they're all sitting in a circle discussing their next plan to battle the villain, who's Ronan the Accuser, played by Lee Pace, I believe. And their chemistry is wonderful. They bounce off each other so well. And next to the Avengers, I've never seen anything as far as an all-star cast work so well. Before we leave from characters, I'd love to discuss John C. Reilly. Why was he in it? I mean, not that I'm complaining, but it's so weird why? He only played such a small part. And then you had Michael Rooker Michael Rooker as Yondu. He did an awesome job. I could not help but see Merle Dixon underneath all that blue skin. He did a fantastic job. And Karen Gillan as Nebula. She was badass. She was quite the bitch, if you will. And I think she did a great job. And then let's also kind of discuss Thanos, because this is not a spoiler at all. Trust me, it is not. If you know anything about the Marvel Cinematic Universe and where they're taking this, you know he's in it. And he was played by Josh Brolin. He was only in it for a bit, but he did a great job, and I am very excited to see where they set him up in the future Marvel movies. Blah, 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 movies. I'm excited for that. Now let's quickly talk about the action. The action in the movie is incredible, and the tone that they go with. It's very original, and it's very just laid back and self-aware. The humor, it really goes for it. It's unapologetic in its humor and in the way it carries itself. The music is... I love the music so much. I love the music so much. It's so ballsy, so 1970s, and it works well. At no point does it seem out of context because it's part of the world that they've created, and it works so perfectly. This movie is perfect. I'm telling you. And now with most Marvel movies, you know you gotta stay for after the credits, and there are definitely 2 scenes that you're gonna want to check out after the credits. Highly recommend you stay for that, and because if you don't, you're kind of stupid. So overall, I don't know what more to say about Guardians of the Galaxy other than the fact that it is, without a doubt, Marvel's best, and it's one of my all-time favorites from now on. I've been listening to the soundtrack constantly. I love this movie so much, and I hope, I pray, if I could drive any of you right now to go see this movie, I would, because it is awesome. I love this movie so much. So now I want to know what you guys think of Guardians of the Galaxy. Have you seen it yet? What were some of your favorite parts? Who was your favorite character? Do you have any favorite one-liners in it? What do you think about Guardians of the Galaxy returning in 2017? Are you excited for that? I am! Tell me all your favorite moments. Do not spoil anything in the comments below. And leave a like, share, and comment as usual. And don't forget to subscribe for everything movies, TV, tech, and gaming news as well as reviews. Please stay right here to get in the know.